Today, we're heading to Aurora, Colorado to talk about a case where a seemingly perfect family story ended in a really calculated and fatal betrayal. This is the horrifying deception that led to the death of Angela Craig.
You know, by all accounts, Angela Craig was just the heart of her family and her community. She was a mother of 6, super involved in her church, and just known for being witty and kind. From the outside, she and her husband James, who was a successful dentist, they looked like they had the perfect life. But as you can probably guess, beneath that perfect surface, something was terribly wrong. A really sudden, terrifying illness sent Angela to the hospital. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row, really quickly. And that third visit, well, that's when everything started to unravel. So the big question for everyone was this: how does a vibrant, healthy woman suddenly end up fighting for her life with symptoms that were baffling every single doctor who looked at her? I mean, the speed of her decline was just terrifying. It all started on March 6th with some dizziness after a protein shake her husband made for her. By March 15th, that's only 9 days later, she suffers a massive seizure and she's on life support. 3 days after that, she was gone. What on earth could cause such a catastrophic collapse?
To really understand the shock of what was coming, you have to get the picture that the Craigs had so carefully built for more than 2 decades.
And the contrast between their public image and their private reality, it was just staggering. On the surface, you see this successful dentist and a loving mother in a long 23-year marriage. But behind closed doors, family and friends would later reveal a story of decades of infidelity, crushing debt, and Angela's desperate wish to finally leave. So the huge break in this case came from a completely unexpected place. It wasn't a doctor, it wasn't a detective. It was James Craig's own office manager, who just happened to notice a suspicious package. It was this incredible, almost unbelievable chain of events that cracked the whole case. James had asked his manager, Caitlin, to look out for a personal package. A colleague then opens it by mistake, and Caitlin sees the label, potassium cyanide. Acting on just a horrible hunch, she gets on Google and looks up the symptoms of cyanide poisoning. Her blood must have run cold. They were a perfect, terrifying match for what Angela was going through. And suddenly, it all just clicked into place. The nausea, the seizures, the rapid decline, every single one of Angela's unexplained symptoms were classic signs of potassium cyanide poisoning. This was no longer just a medical puzzle. It was a criminal investigation. With this horrifying new suspicion, investigators turned to James Craig's computers. And oh boy, what they found there painted this awful picture of a meticulously researched and calculated plan. And this is where the case gets truly chilling. This is one of the actual Google searches made from James's computer, just 1 month before Angela first got sick. He wasn't just curious about it. He was researching lethal doses. But the digital trail went so much deeper, revealing this cold, methodical plan. He looked for chemical suppliers. He researched how to avoid detection in an autopsy. He even watched YouTube videos on undetectable poisons. This wasn't some crime of passion. It was a premeditated plot. The big question, of course, is why? Well, investigators soon found a really clear motive. Emails revealed a passionate affair he was having with an orthodontist from Texas. And the timing? It was just damning. He had purchased flights for her to come visit on the very same day that a shipment of arsenic was delivered to his home. So as all this digital evidence was mounting against James, Angela's life was tragically ending in a hospital bed, surrounded by a family who was only just beginning to understand the horrifying truth. Just hours after Angela was taken off life support, the wheels of justice started turning fast. James Craig was arrested and charged with first-degree premeditated murder. The evidence of his planning was simply too overwhelming to ignore. And just to underscore how severe this crime was and the risks the court felt he posed, the judge set bail at a staggering $10 million. That's an amount designed to make sure he would not be leaving custody. The story of Angela Craig is just such a tragic reminder, isn't it? A 23-year marriage, 6 kids, a picture-perfect life, all of it hiding a deadly secret. It really leaves you with a chilling question. How well can we ever truly know the people we trust the most?